Hey guys, it's your girl Callie. Um, I'm sorry, I'm like trying to breathe, trying not to cry. Um, I finally actually watched the video of George Floyd. Um, that was fucking terrible. If that is America, I don't want no part in it. And if you want to deport me because I'm saying this, go right ahead. You want to delete all my accounts, go right ahead. That just was not right. That was so hard. I didn't watch the whole video because my heart hurt. There is no reason for an officer or anybody to kneel down on somebody's neck. I have seen many officers kneel down on people's backs, their chests, places that they're not supposed to be kneeling or doing things to people that they know will result in harm if the person is no longer fighting back. This gentleman was clearly not fighting back, but begging for air, begging for water, and begging for his mother. And that is not right. It is not right at all. And in this world, yes, white people do need to admit that there are white privileges, and I admit that I am more than likely more privileged than a lot of these African Americans and even Mexicans and many, many other people of color, and that's just not right. I just want to cry, and I don't want to cry on camera, but it is important for me to voice my opinion. I need you all to know that I know that this is wrong. And if I know that this is wrong, then other people know that this is wrong. This is not the way we are supposed to be living here in America. This is not what brotherhood is about. This is not what unity is. This is not what America should be at all whatsoever. This is giving us the worst outlook in history. We have learned for centuries, about African American slavery, how we murdered thousands of Indians for their land. We have purposely demeaned people of race for the well-being of the supposed America, the place where freedom is supposed to ring, the place where we, the people, are supposed to be equal. I do not see equality here anymore. I mean, I never really did see equality growing up. I grew up in an area where I was less fortunate. I grew up in an area where I considered African Americans, Mexicans, all those people, they were all my brothers and my sisters. There's no way around that. Where I grew up, I learned to grow up with these people, and it's not that I learned to not see color. My mom would always say, oh, I don't see color, I don't care if you're pink, brown, orange, yellow, blue, whatever. That's not what we were supposed to aim at. I see that there are black, or I don't even like saying black, but Black Lives Matter. So it's hard, and it's hard probably for some people to hear this coming out of a white girl's mouth. But really, let's dig into the racism problem here. I see that the African Americans, they have it harder than I do. Yes, I had it hard as a child because of where I grew up. I grew up in a very ghetto part, in a very ghetto city, surrounded by horrible, horrible, unspeakable things. And I've seen a lot go on in my life, and I've seen this brutality go on long enough. I am now at the age where I know how to use my voice. I know how to use my voice, and therefore I'm going to use my voice. And there's no way around that. It is time for everybody to stand up, especially white people. We need to protect them more now than ever. Because this whole brutality and the racism, it's not going to stop. It's been going on for hundreds of years. And in order for it to end, it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with her. It starts with him. It starts with your auntie, your uncle, all these people. It starts with every individual here in America. And we need to stop stereotyping. So, back when I was younger, there was a store that I would always go to all the time, and they had just gotten new owners, and the look I seen on this person's face when they seen an African American woman walk into the store, they seemed not necessarily worried, but they were off a little bit, like, oh, okay. Then you see an African American male walk in, and it gets worse. The looks get worse. You can almost smell the fear on these people. That is what I'm talking about, stereotyping. And that is why sexism is right there with the racism. You may not fear an African American woman as much as you fear an African American male, but why do you have to fear them at all? Because of a stereotype that people for hundreds of years kept going? Because of an instance that happened and the person just happened to be African American? White people commit murder all the time. All the time. Hence why these riots and protests are happening, because it happened again to an African American who was not resisting at all in that video, from what I could tell. I don't know what led up to this, to him being, captured or anything like that. That's not the story. The story is that this person was inhumanely killed. He was murdered by someone who could care two craps about anything that was going on. He did not care. You could see it in his face. He did not care that he could not breathe. He did not care that he was asking for water. He did not care when he was screaming for his, well, he wasn't screaming, but he was begging for his mom. That ain't right. That ain't right at all. If the role was switched around and changed, that officer would have been charged. Like, not as in charged, like, legally. He would have been charged at 100 people would have ran him over, would have, went and jumped in, and, as many people as there were that were recording this incident, I have one thing to say to you. Put your phone down and get involved. Use your physical body. Use your physical voice. People were voicing things, but it did not help. It did not do anything. So therefore, it is up to us now to use our bodies, to use our physicality, to make sure that each one of us are protected. We can't go around like this anymore, guys. We can't keep doing this. Can't keep pretending like racism isn't a thing when it is very much a thing. We deal with it from our president all the way down to the lowest person on the totem pole, whatever color that person may be. Racism exists. And for anyone who wants to sit there and say racism isn't a thing, you're full of shit. Period. You're full of shit. And it saddens me. It really makes me sad to be an American. That's why, a lot of times I sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm not American. I just live here. Because I don't feel American. I don't feel like the America that I live in is what America is supposed to be. And that is where things get twisted. I cannot express to you guys how much this video hurt me. When I was watching this video, I did not see an African American. I take that back. I did see an African American on the ground, but the humanity part in me did not see a black person. I seen a human being suffocated to death. I seen a human being getting stripped of all of his human rights. We say we have all these rights and stuff, but do we really? Do we really have the rights that they say we have? Have we really reached any equality within one another? No, we haven't. We have not reached an equality. I mean, I am a gay white woman, so yes, I am hated. But the saddest part is I'm not hated as much as I see hatred towards African Americans. And that, my friends, is not okay. And it's not okay that we have this white privilege thing going on. I don't want white privilege. I do not want that. If I could change skins, I would. 100%. I absolutely would. But then when that would happen, I wouldn't have the history that they had. They have the history that they share, and that is why they are so angry. That is why they protest the way they do. They're tired of being treated like crap, and they have been for hundreds of years. It's time to change. There's no reason for it anymore. There is no reason for this hatred to be going on here. There is no reason for us to be killing or taking anybody's life. It's just very, very saddening. It's very heavy on my heart that this person, this human being, lost his life due to the negligence of all the people that were around him. And the fact that there were multiple cops in that video that heard everything that was going on, seeing everything, they should have picked him up, put him in handcuffs. They had plenty of enough time to put the handcuffs on him while he was kneeling on him. They could have easily taken the kneel off and put him in the back of the car, but they did not do that. And even the citizens realized that. Even the citizens were seeing that all they had to do was put him in the back of the car. But no, he kept his knee down in the most prominent part of the neck. This can snap a neck. This can make your brain dead. There's just so much that I feel and I want to say, and my mind is just in scrambles right now of exactly what to say. But what I can say is that I stand with all of you, and I will fight for all of you. And if I ever see anything like this happening, guarantee you I'm not going to be standing there recording it. I refuse to stand there and record violence against you the African American people or people of any other color. I refuse to watch hatred against the Chinese. I refuse to watch hatred against African Americans, Indians, Muslims, anybody. I refuse. I won't do it. If I see them being treated wrong, I will step in and I will do what I'm supposed to be doing as a human being. We are supposed to stand together, and that is exactly what I am going to pledge to do. I will fight for this. As far as I know, I believe June 6th. Why it's so far out, I'm not totally sure. But there is a protest here in Sonora, California. I will be taking a part in it. I ask that this video gets shared, and I ask those of you that live locally to join a protest. Protect your guys' selves, though, going into these protests. These protests have a very real possibility of turning into a riot, because the injustice is just, the injustice is just insane. So on that note, with the protests and everything, I would like to go over some things that protesters, I know that some people, probably have been to protests before, kind of know what to expect. But those of you that have never protested before or anything like that, some things that you guys would like to probably keep in mind is when you're going out there, be prepared. Whether it happens or not, be prepared to be pepper sprayed, be prepared to have tear gas thrown at you, be prepared of smoke bombs, anything like that that the police could possibly use to dissipate you guys. Just be aware that that's a real possibility of happening. Where in that instance, I encourage you guys to wear masks, and even if you have goggles of some kind, um, goggles are great to have, so that way if you do end up in a situation where you're tear gassed or pepper sprayed or anything like that, you can remove the mask and the goggles as quickly as possible. Bringing me to my next thing, take water with you. And not only do you need to stay hydrated, but if you were to get tear gassed or pepper sprayed or anything like that, the water is going to help you a lot. It's not going to help like perfectly right away, but it is going to help. What you got to do is you got to take the mask off, you got to take your goggles off. Don't even pick those back up. Do not put those back on, but rinse your face consistently, like until you don't feel the burning anymore. You might still feel some burning after, but it's not going to be as bad. But definitely get that off of you as fast as you can. So yes, please take water with you and such. Um, Another thing that is really, really, really smart and really, really important to know when you go to a protest is I actually just told this to someone who said that she was going to go to a protest. I want you individually to find 3 different ways you can run in case you need to. Meaning down a street, down an alley, through a restaurant, to out the back door, whatever. Just in your head, find 3 different ways where you can escape if you need to. Know of places to hide and find stores that will ally you in case something goes wrong. Meaning, if say something really, really big goes on and say you get hurt, you trip, you fall, you split your head open, you break your wrist, bones protruding, anything like that. Find a store or a home nearby, somewhere where they are going to ally you and hide you and keep you safe until everything has settled down, until you can get your emergency services taken care of. If you need to be rushed to the hospital, make sure you get to somewhere that you have the ability to get rushed to a hospital. I'm not telling you guys these things because this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm more telling you guys as a precautionary because these things can they don't tend to, but they can turn into a riot. It can get very serious. Fires can obviously, happen. People will get looted. People can, destroy things. People are mad. This is what people do when they are outraged. Am I saying it's right for them to go and loot stores and everything? No, I'm not. But I am saying that if, we keep up with the actions that we have going on here in America against our people of color, the reaction is going to get 10 times worse. Hands down. I 100% believe that. Back to the protesting though. Also, if you're going to a protest, let your loved ones know. Hug them goodbye. Kiss your loved ones, kiss your kids, hug your kids. I'm not saying it's the biggest possibility, but there is always a possibility of someone dying in the midst of whatever could be going wrong. If you're in a riot, that can especially, just depending on the size of the crowd, can be very dangerous. And you can't always look to police to protect yourself. So, if you're going to a protest and whatnot, let your family know. Kiss them, hug them. Let them know that you love them, seriously. Um, and then also another good thing about social media and stuff. I mean, yes, there's apps that track you, such as Facebook. They have your nearby friends list. Snapchat, you can look and see where people are. I downloaded the Life 360 app when my friend told me that she was going to be going to the protest over there in Sacramento. I had her download the app as well. So that way, if anything were to happen, if she felt threatened or anything, there's this cool little thing on there. You press it, and if you don't turn it off within like 10 seconds, it sends an alert to all the people that you have connected to that app. So then they know where you are, and they can come up with a game plan on how to go and help you out and save you if they need to. That's really a huge thing. Is just, yeah, knowing where your family is, knowing where your loved ones are, especially those that are going into protests and things like that. You want people to know where you are. You want people to know as close to your exact location as possible so that they can find you easily in the midst of any chaos that may or may not come out. I'm just all in sorts about this right now. It just really hurts me to see that America has come to this, and it sucks that I have to make a video on such subject. But really, I love you all, regardless of your color. I will stand with you all, no matter your color, and I will keep my voice up for you guys. And my prayers definitely go out to George's family and loved ones, and to the officer that took this man's life. I really, really hope somebody chooses to show mercy on you, because you did not show mercy on nobody else. But you know what? When we show mercy on you, we're doing it because we're the better person. We are not doing it to give you another chance. We are not doing it so that you can live your life happily. We are doing it more than likely so you can live your life in vain and realize and wonder what it would be like had you not taken his life. I feel like you living with the pain that you did this to somebody. You took somebody's brother. You took somebody's father. You took somebody's uncle, dad. You took someone's life. Yet you want to be the big bad guy that goes and punish all those other people that take people's lives and stuff. Well, now you're one of them. I hope you're not proud of yourself. And I hope you live in misery for the rest of your life. And all I gotta say is, God will get you. I am not the most religious person in this world, but you will get what you have coming to you. Karma is very strong, and I really hope you have to relive those images every day. And I really, really, really hope. I'm not gonna say what I really hope, because it's some pretty messed up stuff, and I'm choosing to be the bigger person and show more humanity than you ever did. That is my message to the officer, and that's all I gotta say. I don't like you at all. You can rot in hell when you die. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I gotta get back inside. But to all of you that do watch this video, I love you guys. Stay safe. Please, please, please stay safe and protect one another. I'm not saying don't go out alone, but try not to be out there alone when you're going to the protests and stuff like that. Always have kind of like a buddy, or at least someone who's gonna kind of be on standby, you know, that you can just call and be like, hey, gotta go. So they can, you know, pick you up and you get yourself to safety. But that'll be it. Peace, love, and chicken grease, because we all know I think that food and love can bring us together. But I see now that we're going to need a little bit more than food and love. So, love you guys.